So were you into G.I. Joe as a kid?
I was. I mean, they didn't have it in England, but I watched it. I played with it. I tied my little G.I. Joes to parachutes and threw them off buildings and like blew them up with firecrackers. Yeah, I did the whole thing. Yeah.
In England, it was called Action Man. It wasn't called G.I. Joe, the British version. But yeah, I was more into girly things,
like Barbie.
Like Barbie and My Little Pony.
They had Barbie in England.
Yes, Barbie's everywhere.
Oh,
Barbie's huge, man.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from this film?
I just think it's a huge ride. I mean, like, now more than ever, I think the audience just want to take a step out of their lives, and that's exactly what this is. This, it is called G.I. Joe, but it's not about war. It has nothing to do with Army. That was a big fear of mine, but then when I read the script, it's like X-Men. It's like Independence Day, Mission Impossible. I mean, it's just an intense, huge ride.
No, just pure entertainment. Yeah, I was just agreeing. Simply agreeing with him. It's just a very entertaining, fast-paced film.
So it's not like pro-war or anti-war?
No, it's a traditional story of good versus evil. It's fundamentally what it is at its core, with great characters involved. Everyone's got a great arc and incredible effects, but it's not a war film at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like in some dramas, like you'll have people that are kind of, you don't really ever have a good guy and a bad guy, but in like these kind of like sort of almost comic book type films, that you have a defined villain and a defined good guy, and that's exactly what the movie is.
So it's all about, the G.I. Joe is about having special skills and whatnot. What is your skill that you would like to have
in life?
In life, yes.
Oh man,
I'd like to be able to fly.
I think fly. Invisible would be.
Invisible, so you can
nice.
snoop.
Yeah.
Invisible could be quite fun. You'd probably find out a lot of stuff you wouldn't want to know.
True.
But let's stick to flight.
Let's go to flight.
What about you?
I like to fly too.
Yeah,
flying that airport security stuff.
Or breathe underwater. I think I would like to breathe underwater as well.
Yeah. Or you could just go scuba diving.
Yeah, true.
What was the biggest challenge during this film?
I think for me it was completely out of my comfort zone. I'd done smaller independent films that tended to be heavy drama, and this was just something I'd never experienced, and I didn't really know where I was at the beginning. I just couldn't comprehend anything of that scale, and get my head around the different style of acting that's required for a movie like this. It's not kind of necessarily realism. You have to be a bit over the top, and you have to play to the crowd. And but once I figured out what it was and who I was in it, it was such a great experience.
Because you don't ever really know what's happening. Like sometimes around, you're in like a little pod and you don't know what's going on. You don't know who's shooting at you. You don't know what the scene was right before because they haven't made it yet. And like you're yelling at a green screen. Like, no, ripcord!
Or the dog saying, now duck, and you're both going, no. We spent 2 days in this pod sort of just being yelled at to duck left, and we were like, no.
Yeah, and
it's a whole new thing.
You just feel kind of floorless. You don't really know what you're looking at sometimes. They show you previs, and they try to give you as much of what's going to be happening as possible, but, you can't, it takes a lot of time. That's, artists draw that in, and then they'll put in something that you never even knew was supposed to be there.
So it's a little schizophrenic.
Well, it's just, but Stephen had the whole film cut in his head before. I mean, that's someone we really trusted. So,
we just sort of were like,
but, in every scene, there's 20 explosions, you're being shot at with rubber bullets, there's smoke, there's fire, there's, it's so overwhelming. And disorientating, but we laughed our way through the entire thing. We had a great time.
Yeah, it was an amazing time, for sure.